Hey guys, you are with the Tech Science. Today we are discussing a new point. It is based on actually the field of the chemistry, and the name of the chapter is Substance in Common Use. Actually the experiment is called as the Rutherford radioactive experiment. It is for all standard like 9th, 10th, even though in 11th, 12th also. Generally, before discussing directly the Ernest Rutherford radioactive experiment, we must know the three basic things actually. First of all, we have first, what is the meaning of the word radioactivity? This is the first thing. Then second, what is called as the radioactive substance? Which substances are called radioactive substance? And finally, what kind of experiment this have exactly? Okay. Now, basically we start from the first point. What exactly meaning of the word radioactivity? So radioactivity, nothing but a kind of property is there, and this is what the substances, those have called as the radioactive substance, in which this radioactive property is there, which having the substances having the higher atomic mass. First, which is what they having the higher atomic mass. Second point, this is the first point. Second point, they having the high energetic radiation. These substances which have higher atomic mass, also they have the high energetic radiation, and because of this high energetic radiation, they have the high penetration power. They have the high penetration power. Such substances having these property, if some of these substances are there, they have higher atomic mass, because of that there is a high energetic radiation is there, and because of this there is a high penetration power, then those substances are called radioactive substances. And if someone having this property, then this is called as the radioactivity property. It is called radioactivity, higher atomic mass, second high energetic radiation, and last is high penetrating power. Now question is what are the different types of scientists are there which contribute in the field of like radioactivity? So number of scientists are there, like Henry Becquerel we have, next Madame Curie, Pierre Curie, as well as one more scientist is called Ernest Rutherford. They contribute in the field of the radioactivity. And here there are the different types of uses are there. Right now we can have the different fields, from agriculture to the industrial field. Everywhere there is a use of these radioactive substances are there. So what is the contribution of Ernest Rutherford in the field of radioactivity? So of course the different types of rays which is emitted by these radioactive substances, they are called alpha, beta, gamma rays, that can be proved with the help of this simple experiment, and the credit actually goes to the Ernest Rutherford. This was the scientist actually. So what kind of experiment they have? Of course there is an evacuated chamber is there in a dark room, and in this evacuated chamber having called as the dark room, we have one box. It is called as the lead box. What is the function of this lead box? This lead box can be of course this is the radioactive substances which are exactly in a lead blocks which having a kind of opening is there, and here in between this we situate already the radioactive substance. Now this radioactive substance, when it emits the radiation, all the radiation except this part, all the radioactive substances like radiation, that can be absorbed by this lead box. And because of this small opening, the radiations are moving straight forward, and here through this slit they are passing, and here there are two electrically charged plates are there, and they are having the highest charge of positive. One plate is at the positive potential, and second is at the negative potential, and here there is a flow of this radioactive substance having the radiation. It is traveling in a straight line up to the path up to this electrically charged plate. It's straight. Now afterward, the photographic plate which is made up of this ZNS, what happened here? This is what the photographic plate, and here there is the emission of these radioactive substances having the emissions, these radiations. Because of this ZNS, there will be a fine spot observed at 3 different places. A fine spot will be observed because this screen is fluorescent, of course, and because of that you found what there are the 3 fine spots you observe. What does this mean? It means that of course there are the 3 different types of rays are there. Because of that, the 3 fine spots are observed. Those rays which are winds like which are strike on this photographic plate, they are straight without deviation, they are called as the gamma rays. And that's why they are neutral in nature. They do not deviated in a electric or magnetic field also. What about the alpha and beta rays? Of course, the two types of rays are there. Some of the rays are there, they are deviated towards the downside, towards they attracted because this negative charge. Of course, here there is a negative charge. That's why they get deviated towards the negative. Means what? These are the positive charge rays. They are there. And because of that, opposite charges, as we know, opposite charges always attract each other. On the basis of that, some of the rays are deviated toward the negative plate, downside. And name of these rays was given by the Ernest Rutherford. They are called alpha rays. And one more fight spot will be observed. It is towards the upside of this photographic plate, means towards the positive charge. So they are get deviated. Of course, what does this mean? They are having the negatively charged, and these are called as the beta rays. So the names are given by this, like alpha rays, beta rays, and gamma rays. So this is what a simple experiment put forth by the Ernest Rutherford with the help of their emissions of the reactive substances, and these radiations are in the form of the rays, and these are called alpha, beta, and gamma rays are there. Now afterward, the number of things are to be discussed. What about their penetration power? What kind of charge they have? What kind of what about the ionization power? What about the penetration power, etc. So number of different properties are there that are studied on the basis of their differences and similarities in between alpha rays, beta rays, and gamma rays. Number of different types of what about their mass also. So all these things will be discussed right now. So in front of you just now I am put forthing a simple table. In that you found that what are the different properties of alpha rays, beta rays, and gamma rays. Let's see which are the properties are there. Okay. Hello guys. Now this is what the chart, and in this chart we have the comparative chart for the alpha, beta, and the gamma rays, where you find out some kind of difference in between their properties like nature, mass, their charge, velocity, their penetrating power. Next we have the ionization power, etc. Okay, so if you observe at the left hand side, we have all the properties. Observe, where is the property? Exactly, this is what the property, and these are the properties are there, starting with the nature and ended at the power to produce the fluorescence. Next one, we have these three types of rays. We have first of all alpha rays, second beta rays, and third is called as the gamma rays. Okay, now let's see all the properties one by one. First, that is called as the nature, where this nature having regarding alpha rays, it is called as the current of alpha particle, and in bracket they written like He++. He++. What does this mean? It means that alpha particle, which are positively charged particle, and they are identical to the nucleus of helium. And here helium, how many atoms we have? The helium is having 4 atoms of helium. That's why the mass is equal to 4.0028. And this spontaneously emitted by some reactive substances, and it consists of 2 proton and the 2 neutron, which are bound together, and thus the mass of 4 units and a positive charge of 2. Observe here, He++, that is called the positive charge of 2. So this is what actually the nature of the alpha particle. Second, we have the beta particle. What about beta particle? Here they written that the current of beta, E- particle, where the mass is 0.000548 atomic mass in it, where charge is -1. What does this mean? The beta particles are extremely energetic electron, and that are liberated from the inner nucleus. They bear negligible mass. Observe, what is the mass? Very small mass, 0.000548 U, and they bear the negligible mass and carry the negative charge. Observe, -1. This carry the negative charge. A neutron in the nucleus splits into a proton and an electron on the emission of the beta particle. That's why they written E- here. Okay, so this is what the nature of the beta particle. Third is regarding the gamma rays. What about gamma particles? Gamma rays, also called as the gamma radiation, it is a penetrating form of EM electromagnetic radiation. That is called it is called the electromagnetic radiation, and generally it is arising from a radioactive decay of the atomic nuclei, and it consists of shortest wavelength of the electromagnetic waves, and that's why it impart the highest photon energy. This is what the nature of the beta particles, alpha particle, and the gamma particles. Okay, next, what about the others? Other than this, there is mass we discuss, charge we discuss. What about the velocity? Observe the velocity of the alpha rays, that is 1/5 to 1/20th time from the velocity of light. All the alpha rays, beta rays, and gamma rays, they are compared with the velocity of light. What about beta rays? 1/5 to 9/10 of the times the velocity of the light, and gamma rays, because of this difference in the nature, that's why here the velocity of the gamma ray is somewhat same as the velocity of light, and we know that the velocity of light is how much? 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. As now we discuss about the figure diagram. In the diagram, the alpha particles, beta particles, they are deviated, of course, but one ray is going in a straight manner, and that is called the third ray. It is called the gamma rays, of course. So on the behalf of that, here also deviation will be given. In the electric field, we have the positive and negative potential fields are there, and here the rays which are attracted toward the negatively charged, they are called alpha rays. What does it mean? It means that they are having the positively charged, and they are called alpha rays. Those who are attracted toward the positive charge, they are called beta rays, and those who are not deviated, they go in a straight line, they are called like the gamma rays. What about the penetrating power? Of course, every particle have the different penetrating power. This is called the sixth point, called like the penetrating power. So if you observe the penetrating power somewhat greater or less, you can compare with this also. Why? First of all, regarding the alpha rays, we have the penetration power, an aluminum sheet of the thickness having less than 0.02 millimeter, while here thickness is equal to 2 millimeter, it can penetrate. And what about either 15 centimeter? So you can just imagine what about the penetration power of alpha, beta, and gamma rays. It may be how it will be greater in which particle. You can just compare with the help of the thickness of the particular sheet, whether for the alpha it can penetrate having the less than 0.02, here equal to 2 millimeter, and here 15 centimeter thick. Also in that also they can imitate. So very simple logic is there. What about ionization power? Ionization power of the alpha rays is very high. Afterward, less than this, it is called as the beta, and the lowest penetration power is regarding the gamma rays. And power to produce the fluorescence, as we know, zinc sulfide coating will be there for this screen. Of course, more fluorescent is, these are the alpha particles are there. Somewhat low are the beta particles, and a moderate, it is called as the gamma particles are there. So that is what last point, it is called the power to produce the fluorescence. So you can just use this kind of nature of these different types of alpha, beta, gamma rays to solve the problem differentiation, or you can learn more about this alpha, beta, and the gamma rays with the help of the properties, starting from nature, then mass, then charge, velocity, deviation, where they are exactly deviated, what about their penetrating power, ionization power, and last, what is the power to produce the fluorescence. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please subscribe my channel and press on the bell icon for the new notification. Thank you. Have a nice day.